Hi, folks. So, okay, I've spoken a lot about the path that people are on, and that most people in church, if they stay where they are destined to an eternity in hell. So, okay, if they stay where they are. So, is it possible that churches can be turned around? If you're talking about the whole of the church, no. If you're talking about a section of the people in the church who belong to God and at the moment don't know it, but do, then they can be, yes. The problem is it could seem or look like the church has been turned around, but given time, those people that are not bearing fruit and never have will continue to poison that tree. That bad fruit will grow back because the people that were producing the bad fruit and the reason why they were producing it are still there. So, unless those people leave the church, and chances are they won't. If they're going to leave one church, they're really going to go to another and take that problem somewhere else. So that's not an ideal situation. That's why banning people from church is a stupid idea, because you're just transferring the problem to someone else, and that's incredibly lazy. So Jeff Oakes saying he doesn't want me to be his problem. He's quite happy for me to be someone else's problem. It's not very loving and graceful for the pastor that I next come into contact with, is it, really? If I'm the one who's in the wrong, so therefore wanting people who are bad or producing bad fruit to go to another church or to just to leave your church, no, don't do that. No. There's no particular benefit there or goodness there. So, better to try and help those people to receive what God is doing now. Or let God get them completely out of the church. Having their problems transferred to someone else is not a good idea at all. Well, as I say, you need to be part of the solution. If you're transferring part of the problem to another church, then you're just part of the problem. And God won't use you. Because this is the point. If you can't be bothered to deal with challenges that come up, right up to your face, then why would God ever choose you to be someone that he will use? He won't do it. He will never do that because there's no point at all. And so yes, put it this way. For churches to be sorted out, you need people to go in there who don't care if what they say would be offensive. Now, as I say, not caring if what you say would be offensive is completely different to intentionally being offensive. You don't want someone... Intentionally being offensive is no better, no worse than intentionally being never offensive. Because, again, you're poisoning the tree. If you're intentionally being non-offensive all the time, then you're weakening the word, and you're poisoning the tree by weakening the word. You're bringing untruths as truth. Because the point of it is, if you're weakening the word and you're taking stuff out that could be offensive, you're not preaching the whole gospel, you're only preaching the bits that are nice. But you're preaching the bits that are nice as the whole gospel, which is therefore demonic. So therefore, the tree would be bad and its fruit would be bad. If you are intentionally bringing offence, then again, what you're doing is you might be bringing the word of God, but you're only bringing the word of God in an offensive way. So again, the fruit is bad, because that's not God's nature. God's nature isn't to intentionally, well, that's not quite true. Sometimes God does want to offend you. That is true. And sometimes God will intentionally offend you. But that's his job. He knows exactly who he's doing it to and exactly what he's doing and why he's doing it. I have no idea. So I'm not in a position where I can ever intentionally offend. Well, again, is that completely true? No, not completely. No, because if I'm involved in a church, if I'm involved in leading or teaching, and if I know that someone is offended by an issue and they've got something there in them that reacts to that, then I will sometimes intentionally say that thing or do that thing to get them to react in an offended way, so we can sort that issue out. So therefore, yeah, you can intentionally offend people. But in the last video, it's the same thing. It's about being seen, not seen, and yeah. And sometimes it is a case that you will intentionally not say something because you know that thing. But anything that comes from God has to be said. You can't water it down, you can't change it, you can't take bits out of it because they might be offensive. If in my own understanding there's something there that normally I might speak from my own understanding, because if I've got a degree of wisdom, then I would know or understand certain things, and therefore I could use the wisdom that I have rather than going straight to God sometimes. But therefore sometimes when that is available, I wouldn't use that because I know that might offend someone in a way that wouldn't be helpful to the situation right now. But as I say, yeah, it's none of it is simple, because this is why you have to learn to be led and guided, because what to do at any given time, only God knows. We don't know. So as I say, sometimes it's right to offend, other times it's right not to, and other times it's right not to care whether you offend or not. But can we decide when those times are? No. Not at all. So there you go. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Be a blessing. Be blessed. Bye-bye.